Well, we've gotten a lot of inquiries about no income business loans for a large amount. So in today's conversation, I want to answer all questions that you may have about no income business loan for a large amount and fast approval. And what I want to do is I want to share with you the top 5 things you must say and do to get the loan you need and deserve, okay? If this sounds like a plan for you, I want you to stick around till the end of today's conversation.
One in a million, one in a million, one in a million. You know they're coming up to me, cause I'm just the kind of flower that's stinging in the beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sorted Kiwi Show. How are you today? Hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you ever ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee, or tea, or vodka, and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about no income business loan for a large amount and fast approval, okay? I want to share with you the top 5 things you must say and do to get the loan you need and deserve. The very first thing you have to do is your business vision. I want you to communicate your business vision through a business plan. Boss, I'm talking to you about something real here, okay? Some people walk around the neighborhood telling people they are the CEO of their company, but their company has no foundation. We've seen this time and again, okay? It's about time you take this seriously. I'm talking to you about writing a business plan, okay? And don't just get me started with people who go on the internet, they download a cheap ass business plan template and they just try to customize things around just to make it look professional. No, boss, you don't want to do this, okay? Because I'm talking to you. What you want to do is you can hire someone if you have no knack for writing business plan, and that's fine. Everybody doesn't need to understand business plan writing, but you want to hire someone either on Fiverr, on freelancer.com, on TopTal. There are a lot of websites out there that actually provide this kind of services, okay? But in a business plan, you want to write an executive summary. I want you to describe your company, very important. You have to state your business goals so that the lender knows really what's going on in your business. You have to describe your products and services. You know, you really want to paint a positive image of your products and services, and that's pretty cool, okay? Do your market research, boss. Because I'm talking to you, I want you to outline your marketing and sales plan. You know, the whole thing is that you got to have a business vision. So when you talk about getting a business loan, the lender wants to make sure you have a clear idea of your business first, how to monetize your business, and also perform a business financial analysis. This is really important. And also, I'm talking about financial projections. If you are a new or established business, you really want to do some forecasted data, okay? And if you have time on the business plan, you can add additional information to an appendix. See, the bottom line here, boss, is that if you want to get a no-income business loan for a large amount, you got to prove to the lender that your business is legit. I'll talk about legitimacy later on, but you have to know how to communicate your business vision. The second thing I want you to do, and this is important, and we're talking here about financials. See, some people are scared when we talk about financial statements. You don't have to be scared. I said this before. If you have no expertise in the subject, I want you to hire someone who really understands what we're talking about, okay? Even locally, walk around. I mean, you just want to walk around, go to the yellow pages of your city or state, whatever, and hire a CPA, a certified public accountant. You can even hire like a senior accountant, somebody who masters the subtleties of financial statements. So when I'm talking about financial statements, I want you to really prepare for me 4 basic financial statements. I'm talking about income statements, balance sheet, statement of cash flows, and statement of retained earnings. Now, obviously, we are talking about no income business loan. In other words, you have no idea what your income is. Hey, listen, you can prepare forecasted income statement. Sometimes they call it pro forma income statements. In other words, you estimate the numbers. You do some kind of forecasting, and that's totally fine. But you got to have those financial statements. But again, if you can't find anybody locally, guess what? You have those websites, those freelancer websites. They're kind of cool. They're really cool. You have expertise on those websites, and you can pay for like you can pay $100, $150, and they'll prepare for you a nice set of financial statements. I'm talking about income statements. I said this before: balance sheet, statement of cash flows, And the fourth financial statement that nobody wants to talk about, but which is really, really important, is the statement of retained earnings. And this is where sometimes they call it statement of stockholders' equity. So this is where you tell the lender a little bit about you, okay, the equity that you put in the business, okay, who was behind the business, because they really want to understand, okay. And in addition to the 4 set of financial statements, in some cases they have something called financial statement disclosures. Okay, so this is where you actually have extensive disclosures that provide additional information about certain topics. Okay, and all of this have to be within a certain context, and the context is called, at least in the States, we call it U.S. GAAP. So U.S. generally accepted accounting principles, and this is the kind of it's a set of accounting rules and guidelines that businesses established in the United States have to follow. So when you prepare this sort of set of financial statements, you are actually increasing your chances of being approved. The third thing I want to talk to you about is your credit scores. Remember, I said credit scores. Cousin, niece, nephew, I'm talking to you. I want you to look at me. Look at me. Okay, we're talking about credit scores. So when I say credit scores, I'm speaking about a duality, two things. Okay, so you have a credit score at the personal level and credit score at the business level. Okay, so you want to keep more than average credit scores at the business and personal levels. See, when you are targeting a no income business loan, you gotta have more than a poor credit score. You cannot have a poor credit score and expect to be approved for a no income business loan. No, it doesn't work. Okay, you got to have a fair credit or a good credit or excellent credit. Okay, so we're talking about at your business credit score level. You want to pay attention to things like your credit obligation, information from your suppliers and lenders, legal filings from local, county, and state court, company background information from independent sources, including state filing offices, public records, credit card companies, collection agencies, and so on and so forth. Okay, and remember that basically there are a lot of agencies out there, including Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Business, Equifax Business, LexisNexis, SBFE. They kind of collect your data, right? So you want to start right now by actually signing up for it. You want to have a DUNS number, so you have a clear idea what is in your file. Okay, it's really important. Okay, and so this is for the business level. Now we want to talk about the personal credit score, and you want to pay attention to your payment history, the amounts that you owe, right? So I'm giving you the components of your personal credit score that you need to pay attention to. So eventually, when you are ready to apply for a no income business loan, guess what? You have not only a great business score, but also a great personal credit score. Fantastic. So payment history accounts for 35% of your credit score, of your personal FICO score. The amounts owed, 30%. The length of credit history, we're talking about 15%. Okay. Your credit mix, 10%, and new credit that you have, 10%. As you can see right off the bat, that the first two, payment history and amounts owed, aka credit utilization ratio, those two together, guess what? They count for 65%. That's nearly two-thirds. Nearly two-thirds. The third thing I want to talk to you about, boss, the fourth thing. So remember, we're speaking about the 5 hacks, okay? You want to pay attention to compliance. So when I'm talking about compliance, I want you to show that your business complies with all relevant regulations. Okay, grandpa, grandma, dad, mom, I'm talking to you. So we're talking about compliance here, okay? We are in and out, in and out, in and out. But the thing is, we are in and out. We want to show the authorities that we are complying. We are complying in terms of taxes, okay? We are complying in terms of labor, because if the lender asks you, you want to make sure that your company is compliant, abides by the regulations and the guidelines and edicts that are in your industry, okay? You want to comply in terms of financial reporting. I told you earlier about something called U.S. GAAP. That's important. Okay, that's a set of guidelines, and you want to, because if you comply by a U.S. GAAP, if you prepare financial statements in accordance with U.S. GAAP, you are basically telling the lender that you are serious. Okay, it doesn't matter if you have no income to prove. At least you are actually abiding by other regulations. Very important. We are talking about employment. We are talking about advertising. In some industries, we talk about antitrust. We talk about environmental regulations. We talk about privacy. Okay. And most importantly, we talk about permits and licenses. This is so important. Let's say you are in a quote unquote risky industry. Let's say you are doing liquor, or you're doing nightclubs. Those industries are very regulated. They are heavily regulated at the state and federal level. So you better have the permits that actually pertain to those industries. Very important. And when we talk about compliance, one thing I want to mention, and that starts the whole compliance chain of events, is for you to have an EIN. You want to have an employer identification number. You want to have the proper legal structure. You want to either your LLC, LP, S Corp, C Corp. We're talking about making sure that you have the right fulcrum, you have the right foundation, the right legal and regulatory foundation for your business. That's what I want to talk to you about, boss. You got to pay attention to that, okay? So you want to have your EIN, of course. You want to have all your legal structure set up. You also want to have your certificate of good standings, okay? That's what the authorities give your business to tell everybody, including lenders, that you are legit, okay? And you also want to have your articles of incorporation or articles of organization ready, okay? So the whole thing is you want to have the paperwork ready, so when the lender asks you, you have a clear idea what they're talking about. I want to talk to you now about the loan proceeds. This is actually the fifth and most important element also. The funny thing is, some people, they're asking for a no income business loan, but the funny thing is they have no idea how they're going to use the money. Just hear me out, okay? Obviously, you have some kind of fuzzy idea that you need money, okay? But the thing is, you need to explain clearly how the loan will help your business generate revenue. Because the lender is not interested in giving you money just for the sake of giving you money. Come on, boss. Right? It's all about making sure to say, listen, it's basically, we are in a business environment. So you want to say, listen, when I get this 50K or this 100K that I'm asking you, I'm going to use it to expand my everyday operations. I'm going to use it to buy equipment or machinery. I'm going to use it to do tenant improvements. I'm going to use it for inventory. I'm going to use it to refinance debt. See, those are plausible. Those are appropriate business uses of the loan proceeds. And this is very important. This is an equation that people do not understand. A lender has to see a clear motive why you are seeking a business loan in the first place, and a no income business loan for a large amount at that. So this is really important. So the burden is on you to tell the lender that, hey, listen, I want to use this money on purposes that make sense for the business. We're not talking about I want to spend this money on things that have no direct correlation with your income statement. Okay, so you really want to think very strategically here. You can use the cash also to acquire a business if there is some synchronicity. There's some correlation between what that target business is doing and what you are doing. Okay, you can also start a franchise. It is possible. I mean, I'm not saying you have to. It's just that you have to explain the use of loan proceeds. Whatever you use the money for, make sure that you have a clear explanation ready, so that when the lender asks you, hey, listen, how are you going to use the money, and how do you make sure that money is going to help you generate more revenue? You have a clear answer. You have an answer that's ready to go. Okay, hashtag profitability. Hashtag business credit, hashtag operational efficiency, hashtag whatever you want to call it. And you can also use the money for startup costs. If you want to start another business, it is also totally possible. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sort of Kiwi Show. We are actually having a conversation about no income business loan for a large amount and quick approval. So I gave you the 5 things to do and say to make sure that you boost your approval odds. Now I want to give you an overview, okay? And we want to talk about the approach. You got to have a certain approach to make sure that when you apply for a business loan, your chances of approval, your chances of receiving the cash are high. So you want to educate yourself on no income business loans. Okay. The thing is, people love the idea of no income business loans. It sounds good. You know, people, oh, wow, I don't have to provide anything. But hey, no way, Jose. No. See, the thing is, they are talking to you about no income business loan. I get that, right? So you're just sitting around and saying, well, I have no work to do. No, you have a lot of work to do, because if the lender accepts your application, your loan application without income proof, guess what? You're going to have to compensate for that gap in your application paperwork with other things. For example, make sure that you maintain a good credit score. I've said that before. It's really important. You want to actually communicate your business vision, because you know why? You are more than your credit score. You are more than your business credit score and your personal credit score. Okay, this is why you have to organize your documents. Very important. You got to organize your documents, your paperwork. We're talking about business plan. We are speaking about financial statements. We are speaking about your organizational data. We are speaking about your compliance data. All of those things, your articles of organization, your certificate of good standing, all these things are important. And you need to determine which type of loan you need too, because when we talk about no income business loan, there is a different typology here. Okay, you can get merchant cash advances, term loans, short-term loans, business lines of credit. You can get accounts receivable financing. Okay, when we talk about factoring and financing, those are totally possible. And trying also to find collateral. Maybe you want to pledge collateral to reduce the APR that the lender is ultimately charging you. Very important to have a clear idea of the correlation, okay, clear idea of the mutuality that exists between your business loan, your no income business loan, and the collateral that make up your balance sheet. Very important, okay? And you also want to have an idea about your business plan. Document your business plan, okay? You want to plan for the right time to apply for the no income business loan for a large amount. So those elements taken all together will help you actually have a clear idea of the business loan you need. Before I close today's conversation, I want to close with a few pro tips, okay? And those are tips we have been using for the last 20 years, okay? We have used this for the last 20 years successfully for clients, okay? And it's all about choosing the right lender. So if you're looking for a no-income business loan for a large amount, I want to tell you right now, you want to forget about credit unions and traditional banks, large banks, community banks, regional banks. I'm talking about the Chase of the world, the Bank of America of the world. I'm talking about the PNC, the US Bank, the Wells Fargo of the world. You want to completely forget about them. They're not going to take your application, because by definition, by default, those institutions are what? They are risk averse. Okay, they are scary. They want to see paperwork. So you want to look for online lenders or alternative lenders. I'm talking about the Lendier of the world. I'm speaking about the Kalamata capital of the world. I'm talking about the Balboa capital of the world. I'm talking about those online lenders and alternative lenders. They are willing to stomach the additional risk that comes with no income business loans. Okay, very important. And while you're doing this, you want to simultaneously get your finances in order. We're talking about making sure that your financial statements, whether projected or actual, are accurate or pretty close to accurate. In other words, you need to have sound assumptions. You need to have sound disclosures. We're talking about making sure, again, I'm telling you, boss, because I'm talking to you. Hey, listen, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, hire someone. Okay, hire someone. I'm telling you, you want to choose the right lender. You want to get your finances in order. If you have no idea what it means to determine what you can afford, to provide proof of cash flow, to get quotes to determine how much you need, hey, listen, enlist the help of a specialist. It will cost you way lower than the $100,000 or $200,000 that you seek from a no-income business lender. Okay. And by the way, when I talk about getting quotes to determine how much you need, it's very important to actually go that route. you want to potentially save yourself. You want to preserve your credit score, so you want to go for a soft pull. You want to go for a soft pull. In other words, you want loans whereby you can actually check how much you might qualify for without a hard pull, and this is important in the long run. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was talking to you about the top 5 things you must say and do to get the loan you need and deserve. Obviously, we are speaking about no income business loan for a large amount and fast approval. So the first one is communicate your business vision. Second thing is your financial statements. Okay. Third thing is your credit scores. Scores meaning what? Your business credit score and your personal credit score. And number four, we have compliance. And number 5, we have to talk about use of loan proceeds. Very important. And so I also explained to you the approach you need to have, and also some pro tips you need to implement to make sure that you get approved no matter what. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous and stay blessed.